So child criminal exploitation is wherever a young person is coerced, manipulated, influenced into a criminal activity that is exploitive to them and places them at significant risk of harm.
We're talking about an abuse of power, we're talking about physical violence, sexual violence towards a child in order for a gain for that adult, mainly that adult. Most commonly, we see it within county line drug offending, but child criminal exploitation can include an abuse of power to be able to get children to go shoplifting. We can talk about it in frames of asking children to go and commit burglaries, theft, car theft is a big one. So whereas we talk about it in county lines, it can have lots of different elements to it, but the main thread that runs all the way through it is getting children to commit criminality for the gain of an adult.
The criminal exploitation of children is designed to make criminal activity more profitable. So it could take the form of sending a young person in a store in a Foot Locker to steal shoes. It could take the form of having young people, putting drugs internally, carrying up in their body for them.
Another area of child criminal exploitation can be children that are brought in from outside of the UK. One of the most sort of prevalent areas we would see that is maybe in cannabis farms. So some of the cannabis farms, the workings of a cannabis farm mean that the plants have got to be watered, and children will be brought in specifically to do that job. Often they're kept inside of the cannabis farms for a number of weeks. They're not allowed out. People visit them just to feed them, and that's their sort of expected role, if you like.
So sometimes what we're seeing in part of criminal exploitation is a young person might rack up a drug debt. So this could be cannabis, ketamine's very much on the rise at the moment as well. It could be vapes. So if that young person can't really afford to pay for that, this gang or this individual will rack up a debt with them. This might then be used further on down the line to get that young person to do something for them. So this could be antisocial behaviour, it could be bricking buses, it could be robbing bikes, robbing cars, it could be doing fraud, so maybe robbing bank cards, and that's what we tend to be seeing a lot of the time.
So criminal exploitation, in other words, just to say it over again, is just the coercion of children, whether through financial gain, threat or violence, to engage in criminal activity to increase the profit margin of the criminal gang or the criminal entity.